Hey everybody, it's Team Blaha here, and yes, client vlogs are back. Return of Michelle. Michelle is back on Team Blaha. We are in prep for getting her ready for bikini competition. I am obviously not doing her diet and posing, but I am doing her training again. We need to get some strength and muscle back on her upper body. We got some muscle to regain here. So we're going to go ahead and get this flowing. So if you guys can see, I'm just going to put footage through here, talk a little bit about the training. I'm going to do 2 vlogs a week for her because what we are doing, we do a 6-day upper lower split. I know people would be like, Jason, that's ridiculous. Most of your clients don't do that kind of volume. But she does, and we do this for a lot of reasons because she needs it for conditioning. She needs it for her psychological health, because again, she's crazy in a good way. And again, she needs it just for her sanity. She needs it for what she does. She also, remember, comes from a fighting background. She has a very, very high degree of conditioning. And again, she also has a situation where her doctors like her exercising as much as possible. It's actually good for her in her personal situation to try to get in and train for a couple of hours every single day. So she tends to do cardio on top of all of this. So what we are doing here, just highlighting a few of the lifts. So her first upper, we do a little bit heavier benching. So we start in around the 5 rep range. And we end up doing around 5s for the bench press. So you guys will notice it's almost power building still. So we start the week heavy and then we get lighter as we go. So we do her big 3 at around the 5 to 6 rep range right now. So we bench press, and then of course she does inclines, she does pull-ups, she does some shoulders. You saw the upright rows right here. You see her doing her skull crushers. So what we are doing with that, I have her rotating through and doing about 6 sets for chest, 6 sets for lats, and then we do 3 sets for shoulders, triceps, biceps. Okay, that is on day 1. Now keep in mind, that's a lot of volume. So it ends up being about 18 sets total. So we end up doing, say for, chest and back, about 18 sets through the week. Okay, because we do 6 and 6. Shoulders and arms are only about 9 sets of direct work. And the reason for that is because those things get worked on all these big compound movements, pull-ups, bench pressing, overhead pressing, all this stuff, right? So because of all of that, we do all of those sets. We only do about 9 sets of direct work through the week. So we do 3 on each of those upper body days. She does abs every single one of these days. I let her, as you guys remember from the old vlogs, Michelle picks her own ab work. I do not pick her abdominal work for her. I let her just kind of pick it as she goes because she is also a personal trainer. And I like to give her a little bit of freedom in her training because I can be pretty rigid with her big lifts, right? We can be pretty rigid with the big lifts and the programming. And so to give her, to let her feel like she has, some control with what she is doing in the weight room, I let her pick her entire ab routine, right? All of her abs at the end. She does abs every single day. And she does a lot of different stuff. I'll throw them in the vlogs. All right, we got her back under the barbell, doing some nice deep back squats, ass to grass squats, because again, we need the glutes to come up because she's got to do bikini. Glutes are absolutely critical for that. So again, we got to build that butt. She hasn't squatted in months. While she was away from Team Blaha, she was not doing back squats. So she messaged me, of course, as soon as she got done squatting. She's like, oh my God, I love squatting. I miss squatting so much. And that's how I reminded her. I'm like, Michelle, you may be a bikini competitor now, but powerlifting will always be in your blood. Just like when you guys see her do some of the ab stuff she does from her boxing days, boxing will always be in her blood, So she's been a boxer, she's been a powerlifter, she's competed in all these things, right? Those are going to be in her blood. We're going to incorporate those things because it's a part of her history, part of who she is. And then we do some deadlifts. Same thing. She hasn't deadlifted really in a while. So she has, but it's been really, really light. So we need to build this back up. Now, we may not have her pulling 315 again anytime soon, but we're going to do some rep work. So the lower body day, same idea. We're working around the 5 to 6 rep range with an AMRAP in there. On the squats, then on the deadlifts, and then we do leg press, glute ham raises, calves. Okay. So here on the leg press, one of the things, again, we'd like to do just for the sake of brevity, she does the leg press here. Of course, then she supersets that with some hamstring work. But then afterwards, since we've already got the leg press there, we've already got it loaded, we might as well do some calves, right? So she does, toe presses on the leg press. Again, one of the great uses of a leg press slide. I'm a big fan of doing that, of using these leg presses to do calves afterwards. It's such a great use of the tool, right? It gives us something that makes it more versatile. Again, one of the reasons I kind of like these 45-degree leg presses. I came up on these way back in the day, like over 20 years ago. I mean, this is what I used in my routine to get my squat, up to 500 pounds originally, right? We came in and we did all these leg presses, but we figured out even back then the same thing. You can do calf raises on them afterwards, right? You've already got all this weight loaded up. It's already there. You can just go ahead and do calf raises. Again, it's a nice, versatile machine. And again, 45-degree leg presses like this, I have been a fan for a long time. I used them back in the day. Some of my strongest squatters, we built most of their musculature on these. Like we squat heavy, and then we came in and we used those leg presses. And so again, it's the same thing if we want to bring her legs up, and we're going to use those tools. So we do all that, and then we get to her second upper body day, which will be the rest of this vlog. So pull-ups, same thing. We haven't been doing pull-ups. That's a travesty, right? Because we had her at one time able to do 15 pull-ups. So we got to get back to that. So day 2, what's our training look like? Decline bench, decline dumbbells, right? Pull-ups, decline dumbbells, one-arm dumbbell rows, flat dumbbells. So day 1, we do a little bit lower reps, right? We do lower reps, we do barbell work. We did flat bench, we do incline bench with a barbell, right? Day 2, what do? We come in, we do decline dumbbells, we do decline flat. Again, we're working all these different angles. And again, I know for a lot of this, people would say, okay, so why so many angles again? Why so much volume? Again, number 1, we're alleviating boredom for her. 2, because she needs the conditioning. 3, because we do such high volumes for her, we do not want to risk overuse. So by rotating through these movements, if we're going to do this sort of volume, I don't want my lifters coming in. If we're going to do 18 sets for chest through the week, okay, I don't want them doing 6 sets of the same lift. All right, I just don't. Again, we're risking overuse. But in this case, we're doing barbells and dumbbells. We're doing flat work, decline work, incline work. Work all those angles. Okay, work all those angles. And again, we need that for her because her chest had been a weak link at one time that we had worked on. She hasn't been training chest as much lately. So again, I want to make sure we work all of those angles. Then of course, she supersets those with dumbbell rows. So a lot of her stuff, what we're doing here is we do a lot of supersets with antagonistic muscle groups. Again, keeping that conditioning up, the heart rate up. I want people to understand, though, in her case, we do use this as a conditioning tool. And we need to be clear, not everyone is going to be able to get away with this. Not everyone's wired this way. She's different. She's got a ridiculous work ethic, high degree of conditioning. We use this stuff to continue to maintain that high degree of conditioning. Because, again, it is critical for what she does. It's critical for her health. It's critical for her goals. All right. Then after that, we do some upright rows here, right? So we've got these upright rows done after we do the chest and back superset. So this is what we do for the shoulders for that day, right? So again, we change the movements up just a little bit here through the week. We change them up, and then of course we do some arms. And I put some arms in this one. I don't think I had them for the first part of the vlog there for the first upper day. So we start with a preacher curl, right? So we do a closed grip preacher curl with an easy bar. Again, working that whole lower bicep and brachialis. Again, great brachialis exercise. Again, we get that into the lengthened position. Again, one of these exercises I remind people do not cheat on. right? We cannot afford to cheat on it. Because again, this exercise, if you cheat and you try to go too heavy, it has a history of tearing biceps. But when used correctly, it is a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal arm builder. And it does have almost a unique stretch that you feel on it. Now, arguably that may be mostly brachialis. But again, in this case, we want some brachialis, right? We want some brachialis, we want some forearm. So we do that, and then of course we finish up with some rope press downs. So we did skull crushers for triceps on day 1. So day 2, which would actually be workout 3. So second upper body day, we finish up with rope press downs. So again, all this stuff has been worked from a couple different angles. And we do most of the stuff on this day in about the 10 to 12 rep range. And you guys will see as we get towards the end of the week, we go up higher. So we start at around the 5 rep range, and then we end the week at around 15. So we have basically more of a heavy, medium, lighter day on the upper lower stuff for 3 different days. And this concludes the end of part 1 of this week's vlog. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.